All right, I'm gonna do a series, guys, on yoga poses where I'm gonna break them down and kind of just get you a little bit more. I've been teaching yoga now for 20 years, and being a personal trainer and a strength coach, I realized that yoga is very good. In fact, yoga is what I call working in exercise. So it's giving us energy. So there's working out, which we expend energy, and working in, which kind of gives us energy. So one of the crucial things with yoga is that we want to tie our breath with a movement. And I actually bring this with my clients when we're working out as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put myself in a half moon pose. So half moon is usually here, and you're going to notice kind of we got forward fold and then also mountain pose. So I'm just going to call it as one, but I'm going to use my pelvis as the driver just to kind of open up my pelvis. So I've done videos on this with drivers. So my head is a driver, wherever my head goes, my body follows. My hands, my feet, my knees, my pelvis. So one of the ones that's most locked up is the pelvis, and especially for people who sit. So oftentimes people that sit, when they bend forward, instead of pushing the pelvis back, they actually just kind of bend from the spine, which is not good, and they wonder why their back is hurting them all the time. So let's put ourselves in half moon, and then let's use the pelvis as a driver, and then make sure that we get the 3 dimensions of movement. So again, being front to back, side to side, and rotation. So half moon is here. So as I exhale, I'm pushing my pelvis back. All I'm doing is pushing my pelvis back as far as I can. Inhale. Now I'm pushing my pelvis forward. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. So from here now, what I'm going to do, so I would say I like do 10 of those. So I was often almost not even did forward fold when I was doing yoga, because I realized so many people just were locked up and they were bending from the spine. And in my opinion, a lot of times it just often kind of exasperated their problems. So to get them to move that pelvis back is huge. So now we're gonna go side to side, and this would actually be the half moon pose. So I'm just gonna push my pelvis as I inhale to the left. I'm reaching up as high as I can. Exhale. Then back to center. Then the last one we have is rotation. So from here, and this is the one that's often neglected, you don't really see these. So you do see the half moon, the forward fold into mountain pose, but then this one's neglected. So from here, I'm gonna exhale, inhale. I'm just gonna come back to neutral. I'm gonna inhale, exhale, turning my pelvis to the right. Now I can see I'm kind of locked up here because I ultimately want to be able to turn my pelvis completely, there we go, where I'm facing. So almost like 90 degrees here. One more. So for me, I could already tell that I'm locked up. I want to focus more on that rotation until I opened it up. So I might do 10 more, and if you also see like one side kind of locked up more than the other. So let's say if I'm twisting, I'm like this far with this side, but this side I'm locked up, I can't get as far, then that's where I would want to bring my attention. So there's no need into doing that if that one's already pretty much open, and then this one's locked up. So I would focus on opening up that side. Of course, if it's different than the opposite side. I'm gonna run through different yoga poses in this series. But we can also use our head as a driver, which I like to do with my clients. So my head is here. I'm actually just bringing my head down as far as I can. My head is up as far as I can to the side. And especially if you're locked up in that neck, I know often my clients are, including myself, and the traps. And then even in this position, as I'm turning my head into my hands, which is an excellent exercise and for strengthening the neck muscles while I'm doing that. So it can bring the head as a driver, the pelvis as a driver, the feet. And we'll kind of just tailor that as we go. But right now, as I run you guys through this yoga series, let's focus on the hips. Tie those hips in it, 3 dimensions, and you won't go wrong.